How's it going, everybody? This is DeanoGTO, and today we're looking at the AMX M4 51. So, this is the Tier 9 French heavy tank, which is in the non-autoloading branch. This machine is, in my opinion, one of the strongest Tier 9s in the game at the moment, and you're going to see why in this game. So, this thing's armor is... I can't even think of the correct words to describe it. It is incredible. Like, you're going to see this thing just tank tons and tons of shots in this game. It is pretty insane. And honestly, you can see what I'm doing here. That was an APCR round from a T110E4. And what I'm doing here, it might seem kind of strange, but I'm kind of juking the tank around in such a way that I can keep the front armor pointed towards the enemy while avoiding them shooting at my side armor, if that makes sense, while still trying to move over towards the safer zone. And here I'm going to move up onto the top of the hill, and you're going to see a wee bit later on like just how powerful the armor is, but now you're going to see what the gun is like. And this thing's gun is pretty incredible. Like, the consistency and the accuracy of this gun, honestly, this thing reminds me of the Conqueror. That's how good this gun is. And I have like a 9.25 second reload on this thing. I think that's longer than what I had on the Conqueror, but this thing's gun combined with this thing's armor is just such a good combination. Like, the combination of those two factors with this vehicle is just, like, I can't think of an analog to this thing in any other tier. It's just so good. And let's just go on around this corner here and see if I can get a couple shots on some of these guys. So I kind of popped around the corner sideways on there because I wasn't too worried about being shot. Batchat 12T was kind of moved across in the open there. The Object 430, Tier 9, Object 430 I should say, is around the corner from me, and this WZ-132 is a tank I really wanted dead sooner rather than later because he is above me, and that means he could probably shoot down onto the top of my turret, and that is what I'm trying to avoid by trying to get rid of him. And this Object 430 is actually going to be pretty interesting to fight a little bit later on, but you'll see that when it comes to it. He comes around the corner, he gets a shot into me. Let's just see where that penetrated. Let's see. Oh, looks like it went straight through my lower front plates. That was a pretty damn lucky shot in my opinion. Even with APCR rounds, I think that was a pretty lucky shot. And one thing you do need to be aware of when it comes to this tank is if the armor is not pointed almost directly towards the enemy, if it's the hull or the turret that's not pointed directly towards the enemy, it's going to take a lot of damage very quickly. Like, the side armor in the turret is crap, and the side armor in the hull is crap. It will take a lot of damage extremely quickly if you expose your side armor for too long. Which is kind of counterintuitive, because usually with vehicles like this, side scraping is the main method of using your armor. But with this tank here, it just isn't. That was so close. I would have loved to have had that guy dead there. Because, like, I know this guy is going to be annoying as hell later if I let him live. If I make one mistake, this guy will be able to punish it. So that's why I'm trying to focus so hard on getting rid of him. And there is a T32 and an MX65T over there. Not too concerned about the 65T because I know how horrendously shit that tank's gun is. So I'm not really too concerned about him getting shots over towards me, even though he did pen me there. But for the most part, I'm really not too worried about that tank. And now I'm on enough health that I'm a one-shot, potentially, for the 65T, or the T32, and almost definitely a one-shot for the 430. And the 430 is likely to try and take advantage of this in the near future, because, well, you would want to remove a Tier 9 from the game if you possibly can, as early as you can. So the Object 430 has started moving forward. He kills the T26E5, which was behind me. I go for a shot on the 65T, get really unlucky and hit his armor at a bad angle. The 430 comes around the corner. He must have thought I was using the 127, because I get a shot straight into his front armor, or not his front armor, his front drive wheel, and set him on fire. And he comes around the corner again really quickly after, and our reload times were really evenly matched. And, well, that was the end of that 430. And, well, that's also some useful information, because now I know where to shoot a 430 to kill it. And that 65T made a bit of a mistake there by just kind of sitting there. And this was the bit where, like that fight against the 430 and the 65T, that was a really, like, tense moment for me there, because it was just like, I'm a one-shot kill potentially for either of these vehicles. If I make a single mistake, they're going to kill me. So I had to just angle my armor exactly towards them and try and avoid them shooting at my lower front plate, because even though the lower front plate on this thing is not weak, it still can be penetrated if someone gets lucky with a penetration roll. So I'm going to head back towards our base here and see T-57 to our north, and T-57 fires a shot off immediately, clips the ground. I fire my shot off immediately and kill him. So that is one of the nicest things about this gun. The rapid aiming time on this gun is just so nice to use. Now here I hear a shot like land near me. It sounded like it clipped off of another tank on my another tank somewhere. So I immediately just thought to myself, yep, fall back. I don't want to die to some like random shot from someone on top of the hill. So now I'm just gonna hang out here for a little while, just wait for the object 257 to move forward potentially. Now the T-124 looked like he was moving forward last time we saw him, so this is more of like a tactical moment here, because now we're just trying to decide what is the best thing to do at this moment in time. Like this T-32, I would like to have him dead sooner rather than later, because removing a gun from the game is always useful. And, well, if he was removed from the game, that would mean we would have a bit more freedom, we wouldn't have to worry about someone coming up behind us potentially. Even though the guy is on really low health, he could still have a big impact because, well, it's a T-32, very strong turret, can be very annoying to actually penetrate. So I'm going to aim for his cupola, but didn't manage to get the shot off. So I don't even go for a shot, I just can't fall back because I'm just like, yeah, not worth it. I don't really want to take a 320 damage shot and potentially die, because that would be bad, because you can probably imagine. And T-124 has actually moved up here, so this was actually a real surprise. I did not expect the T-124 to be the one to move forward. So I immediately try and like hide, like make myself as small target as possible for him. And while he's turned his tank over, the SU-14-2 nails him and kills him. So, and yeah, I even said nice in the chat there to the SU-14-2 because, well, that helped out a lot. I have a feeling that that T-124, if he hadn't found HE as an example, he could have killed me in one shot. And bizarrely, the MX-13-105 killed himself. So that was an interesting choice by him. I wonder why he did that. Like, I think he was honestly, I think, the person who threw this game away at the end. I have no idea how much health he had, but I would guess he probably had a decent amount. Because, well, I don't think I saw him once this game, and wow, that was a snapshot and a half there. Jesus, that was full on Twitch reflexes right there. That was just me firing as soon as I saw him pop up on my screen. And straight through his frontal armor, and that was the kill shot. So, this is the power of this 257 pin French 120mm gun. Its accuracy, its aiming time, its just overall usability is just incredible. And the Ferdinand is actually the last vehicle remaining on the enemy team, and bizarrely he has full health. So I'm not really sure what he was doing the entire game, but he wasn't really helping out too much from what I can see there, because you would think Ferdinand, a tank with a decent amount of front armor, will at least try to do something more, but he seemed to be kind of sitting in the background for the most part. And here I kind of awesome powers my tank a little bit because I'm trying to get my gun down, but the 8 degrees gun depression not quite enough in this scenario, and unfortunately no 6 kills for me because the object 263 finishes the Ferdinand off with a ram kill. So that was a pretty tactical game, very slow paced in some scenarios. I did spend a lot of time pretty much in exactly the same position, but I think my contribution to that game was pretty decisive. Like, I don't really think we would have won that game if I hadn't got the kill on that 430 and the 65T combined with the T-57 Heavy. So let's go on to the post-game stats and see what the result screens were like. Okay, so we are back with the result screens. So this game was worth a first-class mastery, my first first-class mastery in this tank. And I got a steel wall, which is kind of surprising considering I blocked over 4,000 damage. At least I think it was 4,000, but yeah, we'll see that in a bit. We will see that in a minute. And in terms of the base experience in that game, that was 1,276 base XP for 3,626 damage, and that 13105 must be so angry because he did nearly 4,500 damage, which was the highest I think in the game. So yeah, he had a massive contribution to his team. However, I think he maybe rolled his tank over at some point and died because of that. So a bit unfortunate for him, but it worked out well for us. So looking at the DeanogTO report, I fired 20 shots, 13 direct hits, 11 penetrations, so the penetration ratio is not bad, but I did take a lot of spectatory shots and a lot of long range shots in that particular match versus very small targets like the WZ-132. And yeah, for the most part, pretty solid game, but it was about 9 minutes long. Wow, that was actually a pretty long game, World Tanks wise. So yeah, really happy with the way this thing with the way this game worked out. In regards to the tank itself, I think this thing is probably one of the best tier 9s in the game at the moment. It's incredibly powerful, and I really can't think of any major flaws with it. Like, the only issues it has is like side armor's kind of crap, but that's literally it, if I'm honest. It really doesn't have much in terms of weaknesses other than that. Like, I can't think of any off the top of my head because it's faster than the MX65T. It is a better gun than the MX65T. And tier for tier, this thing and the MX65T, you would honestly think the 65T was a tier 7. And this thing here feels like a tier 9.5. It is really, really good. I can't understate how good this machine is. It just takes all that comes its way and just doesn't care. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I really need to say about the MX M4 51. And yeah, if you guys have driven this vehicle, what do you guys think of it? And if you do want one of these vehicles, are you prepared to go through probably one of the worst grinds in the game because you have to go through the M445, which is a completely worthless tank, and the MX65T, which is also not a very good vehicle. Are you willing to go through that grind to get potentially one of the best tier 9s in the game at the moment? So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.